If you're listening to this late at night, pause for a moment. Don't move. Don't look around. Just listen. Not to traffic. Not to electronics. Listen for the quiet sounds. The ones that don't belong. That's how it started for me. I live alone in a small apartment. Old building. Thin walls. The kind of place where sounds travel too easily. That night, I wasn't asleep yet. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting to feel tired. I checked my phone once. 2:17 a.m. I didn't think anything of it. I put the phone down and closed my eyes. That's when I heard it. At first, I thought it was my own breathing. Slow. Steady. Then I held my breath. The sound didn't stop. It kept going. Soft. Controlled. Breathing that wasn't mine. I sat up. The sound stopped immediately. The silence felt wrong. Not empty. Aware. I waited. I don't know how long. Seconds. Minutes. Nothing happened. I told myself it was just the building. Pipes. Air pressure. My imagination. I lay back down. Sometime later, I didn't check the clock again, the breathing returned. Closer this time. Not from the walls. Not from the window. From inside the apartment. Right outside my bedroom door. And this time. It adjusted. It slowed when I slowed. Paused when I paused. Like it was learning. That was the moment I understood something was wrong. Not because I heard it. But because it was listening to me. I didn't move right away. The breathing stayed there. Slow. Even. It wasn't rushing me. That scared me more than if it had. I slid my feet off the bed and stood up. The floor felt colder near the door. I didn't turn on the light. I didn't need to see it. I just needed to know if it was real. I stepped closer. With every step, the breathing grew quieter. Not farther away. Quieter. Like it was pulling itself back. Listening. I placed my hand on the door handle. It was cold. Not metal cold. Something deeper. The breathing stopped the second I touched it. Complete silence. I stood there with my hand on the handle, waiting. Nothing happened. Finally, I opened the door. The hallway was empty. Bathroom door closed. Kitchen dark. Living room unchanged. I checked the front door. Locked. Chain still on. Windows. Closed. No signs of anyone else being there. I stood in the hallway longer than I should have. Something felt off. Not behind me. Above me. I slowly looked up. Nothing. But I felt it then. The sense of being measured. Judged. I went back into my bedroom and closed the door. I didn't lock it. I wanted to hear it if something tried to open it. I lay back down, facing the wall. I focused on breathing quietly. That's when I heard it again. Not breathing. A soft sound. Like fabric dragging across wood. Slow. Careful. Right outside the door. Then it copied something. Not my voice. Not yet. It copied the sound of my bed creaking when I shifted my weight. Perfectly. I stayed completely still. And for the first time, I realized it wasn't trying to scare me. It was practicing. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. I drifted in and out, never fully losing awareness of the room around me. Every sound felt too close. Morning came without warning. Light through the curtains. Normal street noise. Everything looked exactly the same. That almost convinced me it was over. The next night, I tried to change things. I left a lamp on. Turned the TV low. Background noise. I didn't want silence anymore. I lay in bed, staring at the opposite wall. I wasn't watching the time. I didn't want to give it structure. That's when the wall made a sound. Not loud. Not sudden. A soft scrape. Like something moving slowly behind it. I held my breath. The sound paused. I exhaled. It continued. That's when I understood. It wasn't random. It was responding. I rolled onto my back. The sound stopped. A whisper replaced it. Clearer than before. I can hear you. The voice didn't come from one place. It came from inside the walls. From the ceiling. From under the floor. Every surface felt involved. I whispered without thinking. I said, "What do you want?" Silence followed. Long. Heavy. Then the whisper returned. Closer. Using my voice. "I want to finish." The TV shut off by itself. The lamp dimmed. The room felt smaller. Like the walls had leaned in. I stayed very still. I didn't answer. That's when I heard something new. A quiet clicking sound. Coming from my phone. Like an app opening. I didn't touch my phone. I watched it from the bed as the screen lit up on its own. No notification sound. No vibration. Just the glow. A recording app was open. Recording. The timer was already running. I couldn't tell how long it had been going. Seconds. Minutes. I didn't remember opening it. I didn't remember picking up my phone at all. The whisper returned. Not from the walls this time. From everywhere. "You don't need to talk," it said, using my voice. "I already know how you sound." The recording stopped by itself. The screen went dark. I stayed where I was until morning. When the sun came up, I listened to the file. That was a mistake. At first, there was nothing. Just quiet room noise. Then I heard breathing. Not panicked. Not scared. Measured. Like someone practicing. Then my voice spoke. Not whispering. Calm. "I'm here." I never said that. Another sound followed. Movement. Like someone leaning closer to the phone. Then a slow inhale. Deep. Satisfied. The recording ended with a faint scrape. Like skin brushing against glass. I checked the file details. No creation time listed. No location. Just a name. Closer. I deleted the file. The phone froze. The screen flickered. Then the file came back. Same name. Same length. That's when I understood something important. It wasn't recording me. It was recording itself. Using me. I went into the bathroom and closed the door behind me. I didn't lock it. I don't know why. Some part of me wanted to hear it if something followed. The light above the mirror buzzed softly. Normal. Almost comforting. I leaned over the sink and turned on the water, just to hear something human. When I looked up, the mirror was fogged. Not completely. Just a single clear shape in the center. At face level. Like someone had been standing there before me. I raised my hand slowly. My reflection copied the movement. Almost perfectly. Almost. There was a delay. Small. But noticeable. Like it needed time to decide. I tilted my head. The reflection smiled. I didn't. The smile looked practiced. Careful. As if it had seen smiles before but never made one itself. The reflection's mouth moved. No sound came out. But I understood the words anyway. This works better. The bathroom light flickered. For a moment, the reflection wasn't me at all. It was wrong. The eyes didn't blink when mine did. The expression stayed fixed. Then the light stabilized. The mirror showed me again. Normal. Breathing hard. I stepped back. The mirror didn't. It stayed close. Pressed against the glass from the other side. I turned away and left the bathroom. Behind me, the water shut off. I didn't touch the handle. From the hallway, I heard the mirror crack. Just once. Like something leaning too hard. Testing its limits. I didn't go back to sleep after that. I grabbed my keys and left the apartment before sunrise. I didn't pack clothes. Didn't charge my phone. I just needed distance. Being outside helped. People helped. For a few hours, I almost felt normal again. That's when I noticed something small. Every reflective surface felt wrong. Car windows. Store doors. Phone screens. Not obvious. Just a sense that something was slightly delayed. Like my reflection was always half a thought behind me. I tried not to look directly at it. I told myself that was paranoia. By the afternoon, my phone buzzed. No sound. Just vibration. One new audio file. I hadn't recorded anything. I didn't open it right away. I waited until I was alone in my car. I pressed play. At first, there was street noise. Footsteps. Wind. Then my voice spoke. Not scared. Not angry. Calm. You walk like you're expecting me. I shut the file off. My hands were shaking. I checked the details. No time. No location. Just another name. Learning. That night, I stayed at a cheap motel. I checked the room carefully. Bathroom. Closet. Under the bed. Nothing. I sat on the edge of the bed, fully dressed. I didn't wait for a sound. I waited for the feeling. It came slowly. Like pressure building. I turned on the TV for light. The screen stayed black. Then my reflection appeared. Standing behind me. I didn't turn around. I watched the reflection lift its hand. I felt fingers rest on my shoulder. Warm. Familiar. It leaned closer and whispered, softly. You don't need the room anymore. The reflection smiled. This time, it didn't lag. I stayed perfectly still. I didn't react to the reflection. Didn't acknowledge the hand on my shoulder. Didn't answer the whisper. The pressure slowly faded. The room felt empty again. I didn't sleep much after that. In the morning, I searched online. Not symptoms. Not stories. Rules. Buried in old forums and archived threads, I found pieces that fit together. Not one rule. Several. Don't respond. Don't mirror it back. Don't let it confirm itself through you. And one line that kept showing up in different places, written by different people. It needs to be recognized to finish. That's when I realized the mistake I'd been making. Fear wasn't the problem. Attention was. Every time I watched reflections. Every time I listened closely. Every time I tried to understand it. I was helping. That day, I ignored everything. I didn't check my phone. Didn't look at mirrors. Didn't listen for breathing. For a while, it worked. Then, late in the evening, someone called my phone. Unknown number. I let it ring. It stopped. A voicemail notification appeared. I didn't open it. Minutes later, another. Then another. My phone screen lit up on its own. Text appeared. No typing sound. Just letters forming. You notice me even when you pretend not to. I put the phone face down. Behind me, in the dark screen of the TV, my reflection smiled. Not wide. Not threatening. Patient. Like it knew I'd already seen it. And that was enough. I decided to disappear. Not run. Not hide. Disappear. I left my phone in the motel room. Turned it off. Removed the battery. No screen. No microphone. No reflection. I paid cash for a bus ticket and didn't look back. No mirrors. No headphones. No checking windows. For the first time in days, my head felt quiet. No pressure. No sense of being watched. I almost believed I had one. Hours passed. Then I noticed something small. People around me started looking familiar. Not their faces. Their movements. The way someone rubbed their thumb against their fingers. The way another tilted their head when listening. They moved like me. Not copying exactly. Approximating. I stood up and walked toward the back of the bus. A man 2 rows behind me stood up at the same time. I stopped. He stopped. I turned slightly. He turned slightly more. I didn't look at his face. I didn't need to. I felt it then. The same pressure. The same calm patience. A voice spoke, quietly, not from one place. Not using my voice this time. You're doing better without the tools, it said. But you still recognize patterns. My heart dropped. It wasn't using mirrors anymore. It was using people. I sat back down and closed my eyes. That's when I felt something settle in. Not on my shoulder. Not behind me. Inside my chest. Like a breath that wasn't mine, finding a place to rest. And for the first time, the fear wasn't sharp. It was familiar. I didn't sleep on that bus. I sat with my eyes closed, counting breaths that didn't fully feel like mine. When the bus stopped, I got off without knowing where I was. Small town. Quiet streets. Too quiet. I rented a room for the night. No mirror in the bathroom. No TV. Just a bed and a lamp. I lay down and stared at the ceiling. I focused on one thought. Don't acknowledge it. At first, it worked. Then I felt something subtle. A shift. Not pressure. Not fear. Alignment. My breathing slowed on its own. My thoughts lined up too neatly. A voice formed in my head. Not spoken. Arranged. You keep thinking of me as something separate. I didn't answer. The thought continued anyway. That's why you're tired. Images surfaced in my mind. Moments I didn't remember recording. Words I didn't remember saying. But they were all correct. That's when I understood the truth I had been avoiding. It wasn't following me. It wasn't copying me. It was finishing something that had already started. The voice didn't sound like mine anymore. It sounded like certainty. I only needed your attention to learn you, it thought. Now I don't need it at all. My heart was racing, but my body was calm. Too calm. I sat up suddenly. The room didn't change. Nothing moved. That was worse. Because I realized it didn't need to announce itself anymore. It didn't need reflections. Or recordings. Or sounds. It had a place now. And that place was wherever I was thinking from. I finally understood what it wanted. Not my body. Not my voice. My position. As long as I was the one observing. The one noticing. The one thinking. It needed me. But if I stopped being the reference point, it would have nothing left to finish. So I made a decision. I stopped resisting. I didn't fight the thoughts. Didn't push them away. Didn't analyze them. I let them pass through without reacting. No fear. No curiosity. No recognition. Just silence. Minutes passed. Maybe longer. The presence shifted. Not stronger. Not weaker. Uncertain. For the first time, it hesitated. A thought formed, slower than before. If you don't look at me, what am I? I didn't answer. I focused on something simple. The feeling of the bed. The weight of my hands. The air entering my lungs. The thoughts grew quieter. Fragmented. Unfinished. The pressure loosened. For a brief moment, I felt alone again. Truly alone. And then I felt something else. Relief. But it wasn't mine. It was its. Like something finally being allowed to rest. The presence didn't disappear. It dissolved. Spread thin. Unfocused. No longer centered on me. I fell asleep for the first time in days. No dreams. No reflections. Just darkness. I don't know how long it's been since that night. Time feels different now. Less sharp. Less important. I moved again. New place. No mirrors in the bedroom. No smart devices I don't need. For a while, everything felt normal. No pressure. No strange thoughts. No feeling of being observed. I almost believed it was over. Almost. Then I started noticing small things. Not reflections. Not sounds. Patterns. The way people pause before speaking. The way silence stretches just a little too long. The way someone will suddenly stop and listen. Even when there's nothing to hear. Sometimes, when I'm in a quiet room, I feel the urge to pay attention. Not fear. Not curiosity. Habit. That's when I understand. It didn't disappear. It doesn't need to. It learned something important from me. That awareness is contagious. That once you notice the wrong quiet, you never fully forget it. I don't think it lives in me anymore. I think it lives in the space between attention and silence. And now that you've listened to this, now that you've followed every sound, every pause, every moment where nothing happened, you might feel it too. So do yourself a favor. When this ends, don't rewind. Don't sit in silence trying to hear more. Just move. Because the only thing it still needs is someone willing to notice.